have a chance. But South Florida, they've looked like a solid team through and through here in this season. They're tough to take down for anyone.
We'll see whether or not Platteville are up to the challenge. Obviously, going into this series, a lot of eyes have really been looking towards this USF Gold roster. You know, you talk about this team as well, Corelli. They've had such a great start in the season. And we're starting to see how things shape up for them going towards the later half. You know, we talk about playoffs coming up soon, and it's definitely a team to keep your eyes on as Jay Urban almost picks up a shot. Fluff Ball will have to play it to the side. Peculiar gets taken away, and you're going to see Platteville on offense.
Platteville do have one of the things that Platteville does really well is they capitalize on the chances given to them. And a lot of teams that have a lot of mistakes in their defensive side, have a lot of missed touches, Platteville does a great job of jumping on top of. You're not going to get that too often here with this South Florida team. But I think Platteville definitely has chances like this. Well, they can't capitalize this time. Jay Urban makes a great save to keep it tied up.
Yeah, and now we see Platteville again getting those opportunities, but it is going to be about what they do with it. As right now, you can see them with that offensive pressure, just testing that backboard. And good work is done here from USF. I mean, they're still keeping this one 0-0 to start things off. But a little bit quiet, though, from USF on offense. They haven't necessarily been able to output much, and I think that has to do with Platteville's ability to control the midfield. They've gotten a lot of good possession, and they've done well with the ball.
They've been able to at least fend off that offense like you talked about, but here's some opportunity now for South Florida, and they really got to get a hold of themselves here on offense. That's a big miss on the back wall. Reese tried to keep on. Peculiar's also there. Reese doesn't get the shot. I think he got a little tied up in the box, and Peculiar's still trying to keep it on for South Florida. Second touch left side, turned away by Fluffball. Still very dangerous here for South Florida.
Reese?
Can Reese get the second touch? Out of boost, but he gets the first goal for South Florida.
And that's what you want to see from South Florida. When they're on offense, they look so deadly. And Reeves, though, I like the idea of keeping the ball close from getting that light touch, forces the defense to jump. They seem uncomfortable. He had support in the back. And regardless of that, he was still able to do things all on his own. And that's where you want to start if you're USF.
And you kind of see what Reeves brings to the team. A lot of creativity, even with the low boost situation there, able to keep that play alive, and he certainly did. And now threatening again for South Florida.
Now you see South Florida just again with a lot of pressure here, and Fluffball tries to go for the carry. But now I think Platteville, not really the best time to take their time. I mean, forcing the 50 in the midfield is fine, but you got to be careful when you have those dribbles in front of your own box. One bad challenge, and that's going in the back of the net. Meanwhile, USF are fine with booming the ball downfield. Demo, shot, goal! Reeves will pick up his second.
Great demo here by Jay Urban. Throwing the ball down the field for Peculiar. Good pass off the back wall. Maybe wanted a bit more power towards the net, but it still comes out to Reeves. And it's off the back of Jay Urban, following up his touch, taking out that defender in the net, and leaving it wide open for Reeves.
So now, got 2 minutes left in gameplay. And what we've seen from Platteville, at least in the start, Corelli, was really well done in terms of being able to keep control, set up some offensive opportunities. But for USF Gold, I mean, these transitions and these offensive strides that they've been able to make downfield have just been so pinpoint that it's been tough for Platteville to be able to recover.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that pressure is shutting down the offense for Platteville as well. Like I said, a player that I kind of picked out was Fluffball, but really haven't seen anything from anyone on Platteville. They've been able to get down the field a few times, but nothing too dangerous. There's not a lot of setup. You're seeing a lot more intention with South Florida, and that's a great pass from Jay Urban once again.
Yeah, Reeves will pick up the hat trick too on this one. Look at this pass into the shot. A lot of speed there, but not only is the speed good, the confidence from Reeves to be able to go that close to the net where everyone's sitting just bundled up from Platteville. You could just see that he is willing and ready to take the pressure to him. He almost does so again. Jay Urban will just keep this in play for now.
And South Florida, those quick passes with pace is what's giving them these leads. But at least for this one, Platteville, nobody in the net. Everyone taken out of the play. You could see Mars He tried to clear it away to at least buy some time from Platteville, but again, South Florida didn't have to commit so much on the play. It was one player, a second player, and their third could clean up whatever came out from the Platteville defense. This time a pass straight to the to the South Florida team. And 4-0 is your scoreline here for South Florida as they are looking to take a dominant win in game one.
Yeah, I mean, that last goal definitely seemed like you saw a little bit of desperation there from Platteville on the defense. And they got to go back to what was working at the start of the game where they took control, they slowed things down, and they didn't force the issue. Now the ball's getting knocked away from them. Reeves almost picked up his 4th goal. It will be knocked away. But at this point, I think for UWP, they definitely have to look towards game number 2 here.
Yeah.
And I think it all comes down to just 1, rotation, but 2, knowing what you can do with the ball when you get that possession, as this one just pinches all the way downfield.
Yeah, at least for this goal, that's a tough play. That one pinched out towards the midfield. Slow was caught out just a little bit there. Didn't expect that pinch to happen, but that's really not the issue for Platteville here. The true issue is when they pick up the ball, whether it's defensively or in the offensive third, it really doesn't feel like, or even just the offensive half, it really doesn't feel like they have anywhere to go. And right now we're getting a lot of garbage goals for South Florida. But it does feel like for Platteville, you have to reset going into the next game, of course, but you have to have a lot more intention with the ball. You're seeing these passing plays, at least early on, for South Florida that really gave them the lead, gave them the edge when they were on the attack. Platteville couldn't keep up with it, and they couldn't keep possession either, and that's really been the biggest difference maker here between these two teams.
Yeah, I feel like for them, it just comes down to kind of, again, using these last few moments to try to reset. Obviously, you're going to see USF Gold run up the score, which they continue to do. And for them, it's about keeping momentum, because you got to also look at the other side of things too. USF Gold do want to keep this pressure and this level of success going into the next game. But for Platteville, I mean, the mistakes seem pretty obvious, especially when you know what we saw at the beginning of the game. I think it just comes down to, buckling down, taking that time in between matches, load up game 2, and then just come out as a different squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you really have to know what South Florida has coming out of their own half, too. There's been a lot of times, even before those last 4 goals or so, or maybe 3 goals rather, back when it was 4-0 or 3-0, you're seeing South Florida really take advantage of Platteville not playing all the way back on their line. You saw the long pass from Jay Urban when he got the demo, got it all the way to the backboard, and there was nobody there from Platteville. So it might be that Platteville's too eager to push up. It's hard to tell because they really didn't get a lot of offense going, but they're certainly getting caught out by South Florida right now.
It did seem like towards the end of game 1, I think Platteville's kind of game plan is, okay, let's try new things out here, right? What we're doing isn't working. Maybe if we try to be a little bit more aggressive, probably can't do that. The ball's getting cleared into our net. So maybe I feel like for them, it just comes down with having a wider rotation and then understanding when to control the ball and when they have time. That way they can say, okay, we have a lot of space to work with. Everybody individually gets more time with the ball, or when we call out that player that does have that space, he could utilize it and do the most with it. That buys the team more real estate downfield, and it can set them up to be more effective on offense, because that's what they want at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think the key thing that you just mentioned, Daz, is knowing when you have a bit more time. Because South Florida, I mean, even right there, this first play, you're seeing Reeves go off the ceiling. He wanted to maybe hit it downfield if he was challenged. He wasn't, so he decided to bring it back down. I think that's kind of the difference here for Platteville. You're seeing this ball just being popped up, and there's not a lot of follow-through on the UWP side.
Those touches are important. Setting your teammate up or just making it harder for the defense is just, usually the more basic motivations when you're playing the ball, but sometimes you tend to lose that when you're playing against a team that has a lot of high speed. And USF, sometimes they don't give you time to think. This is a good squad.
Yeah, and I think the good news for Platteville is I don't think South Florida is much faster than, or are much faster than them. It's more about South Florida, again, doing a lot more with the space that they're afforded by Platteville, and that's why you're seeing South Florida, again, finding a lot more attacks and a lot more time in the final third. But where the first minute has come and gone here for Platteville, I think you can be happy with your performance so far. Yeah, you haven't generated any shots, but it doesn't feel like South Florida's had too much opportunity here.
It does seem like South Florida's been pretty much hanging out on their own end. There's a double demo. But USF Gold only sitting with 2 shots. Now, they had a slow start in game 1, and then once they found their footing, they were able to just light up the scoreboard. But things seem a little bit different as that one needed to be saved. The Peculiar on the goal line, able to knock that out. You're starting to see Platteville take advantage here. Slow may have a play, but Flick just a little bit too early, and Reeves got control.
And you're seeing Platteville now really reading the game a lot better. That's unfortunate that Mars gets dunked there because that challenge in the midfield was so crucial for UWP to keep a dangerous attack on. But hopefully he can get back here to not get caught out because so far it's been pretty good from Platteville. But Jay Urban shuts them down with their first big chance for South Florida.
There's a cut here from Fluffball, and it just seems like there's a bit of a miscommunication after that cut. Jay Urban takes advantage of it, sees Mars in a tough spot, and he just has a clear shot at net. But for Platteville, just a slight mistake, and all that pressure that they had and all that momentum that they had built up just went nowhere.
Yeah. And you can truly see that domino effect. After Mars got dunked in the midfield, it felt like they lost a lot of steam on the attacking third, Platteville did. And South Florida finally got a hold of things in the midfield and were immediately able to punish. And they have a wide open net here. Peculiar could put it away. He does. And a 2-0 lead now for South Florida.
Now South Florida, this is where we start seeing them ramp up again. Peculiar, I mean, a clear all the time in the world. And you can't afford to give USF Gold that much space because you've seen how they play, whether it's in the air or on the ground. They know what they're doing with the ball. They will play it past you if you're caught out rotating, and that was just an example of it.
But still, it's been a better game from Platteville. This is a huge opportunity. Big demo from Snow, and one back for Platteville.
And that's the first goal for them this series. Slow, taking it all the time, and look at that. Flick into a demo, making sure he's able to push that one through. Now Platteville bring it back into 1, and let's see what happens once they get things going.
Oh, look at this kickoff from South Florida. 2 go on the 2 center kickoffs, and they both fake to the man back. It was cute, but I don't think it really worked, but I like the idea. We don't really get to see too many setup kickoffs, at least not at the CRL level. For South Florida, I don't think they got exactly what they wanted, but still, they're not in a horrible position.
Yeah, I think this team, the South Florida squad, is still confident, which is why they go for stuff like that. Okay, you know, we got scored on. Let's try a fake kickoff. Sure thing. But again, don't sleep on this Platteville team. It's just a 1-goal game here. It's not as if this was the game 1 scoreline.
Absolutely. Anyone playing Platteville, I mean, they have players to make things happen, and when they can get their act together, they're a pretty darn good team here in CRL. And you can even see, you know, a team that can adapt game to game like we're seeing so far is a team that will learn to get better, and we're seeing that. Platteville is learning against their opponent here, and they've been able to at least, you know, now produce their first goal, but also have a lot more opportunity.
Yep, and you can see, look at them, they're starting to speed up. That's a good beat from Mars. They had more boost, and if Peculiar wasn't there, probably could have had a double on the play. Puffball pass in, and Slow played the 50. Another chance there. Mars just cannot wrap around it, but Platteville applying that offensive pressure.
That was another possible chance for Platteville. You know, I complimented them before going into the series that they were able to, you know, capitalize on opportunities, but it's been a bit tougher against South Florida. They may be playing at a speed that they're uncomfortable with, or rather, it's just tough for them to stay up on offense for long periods of time. Whatever it is, South Florida are better for it.
And at this point, USF goal will just want to keep things going there. Reeves had to get a tough little touch to the side, almost got caught off on rotation. But here we go, final 30 seconds. Platteville down by 1. Let's see if all that momentum that they were able to build up can go towards a strong push, as you kind of hate to see that miss.
You really do hate to see that one. And he quick chatted it in game, which is why I laughed, but Mars not connecting. South Florida here might get one for the road. It's up to Platteville to fight back. It's a good pass from Fluffball. Now up to Mars. He's got boost to work with. Tried to put it over Reeves, and I don't think Fluffball's going to go for it. South Florida up 2-0 in the series.
And South Florida trying to make this one a quick one, and rightfully so, as they have been decently consistent. Offensive output was not as strong as game one by about 5 goals, so there is a difference here. And they also gave up a goal to Platteville. You could thank Slow for that solo play. But, we load up game 3 now, and Platteville showed they had a much better showing than the last game. It definitely, you said it earlier, they're learning here. They're adapting. Now it really comes to test here. They only were able to score on offense due to a solo play from Slow. They've been able to maintain some decent pressure and open up chances, but I think it's about finishing. That's going to be the big key of whether or not they can actually start to turn the series around.
And let's not kid ourselves here. If you look at the record that Platteville has, they have given some high-quality teams a run for their money. They went to 5 games with Akron. They had 4 games with Nova. I mean, this is a team that has been battling it out and had opportunities to beat some big teams here in this conference. And South Florida is a team, again, is a top team here in this conference that Platteville could at least give them a run for their money. And like you said, while they have been learning, this is really where it needs to come together now for Platteville. This has looked a lot better, but not good enough in the first 11 seconds. South Florida, again, so quick to catch out Platteville here.
USF, I mean, they are waiting and lurking for an opportunity, and Peculiar shows you that. Great shot, good read, too, on the pass out. The USF will continue to keep trucking on.
And you're seeing the power of not just mindlessly banging the ball down the field from South Florida. Even when you're under pressure, having that outlet buys you a lot of space, and you can quickly move through the midfield before you catch your opposition, or before the opposition catches coming back. Slow gets the double tap. He had missed the original shot. No way he was going for that second touch, but Platteville get back on the board.
He almost missed it. I didn't realize it until you said it. That's why I'm like, there's no way. But, hey, we take it.
And that's great. Yeah, if you're Platteville, you're super happy. Not only do you respond, but it's quick as well. And you're right back into this game, in a very crucial game as you're staring down a 3-0 here.
Oh, they look at that. They're still putting it on. Good shot from Slow. And Slow, the only scorer here so far for Platteville. Mars will try to put that mid, but is knocked away. I like this. He's just buying time for Fluffball to move upfield. Playing this one in front, but Fluffball's going to be needed big here as Reeves, he just slow plays it past him. Look at him taking his time.
Didn't have much boost to work with. That was all he could really do, was throw a couple of fakes to throw off the first couple challenges, but eventually they know you're not going to throw the fake. Now Jay Eber just trying to do it all by himself. Makes it trouble for the defense. Reeves, can he put it away? It's a great pass over to Peculiar. Look at the passing from South Florida. They are on point today.
Look, yes, the pass here was incredible. Reeves, you were expecting a shot. He sauced it up for Peculiar, and he did not waste that opportunity. Now USF up by 1, but playing like this, you got to be nervous here for Platteville.
Oh, Peculiar is going to peel this one away off the kickoff. Tried to cut it back around towards net. But for Platteville, I mean, the passing that we've seen from South Florida, even that extra pass from Reeves, I mean, he could have been well within his right to rip that shot, but even giving it over to the next man and Peculiar is really the sign of a team that's on the same page and that trusts each other to be in the right spot.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've seen a play like that, too. And Reeves being involved, it's honestly no surprise. Seeing how Reeves did in game 1 when, they were scoring their early goals, and up till now, I mean, a playmaker, but the trust in USF is what shines through most of that, because, it takes 2 to tango in a situation where, you got to get a pass out in the mid, and they did a really good job.
Still, with all that being said, though, Daz, Platteville only down by 1 goal. Plenty of time left, just over half a game left for them to really find their footing in this game, or at least try and tie it up. And it's a good demo from Fluffball. Unfortunately, he got sent into the air off the demo. Haven't seen too much offense, but Mars is going to drop it back down the Duncan in, and that is how you tie it up for UWP.
Oh my, Mars really used all the boost on that one. Quite literally so. Great follow-up, too. Didn't get a chance to jump off the ceiling, so just straight boosted down at the right time. And that's a big-time play for Platteville.
That's exactly what they needed. You know, we can compliment all the passing plays from South Florida here, but Platteville done a great job, especially on the solo plays, as well as they could almost get the go-ahead goal. Slow, I don't think expected that ball to come all the way across so cleanly. Here's a pass over to Slow again. Can he get to it? It was a great setup from Platteville, just missing that shot.
That would have given them the lead. Now they have to play defense, and Reeves looked to carry that one downfield. This could be a chance, though. That was last man. Mars trying there, but not enough. Defense able to reset in time.
Oh.
And boy, are they working as Platteville are not done on offense.
There's so many opportunities. Look at Jay Urban now. He might be able to get the go-ahead goal here. Slow's got to play some defense, but he doesn't get the touch. And that was a lot of work done by Jay Urban to buy the South Florida team some offense. Peculiar now trying to take it, but Slow, not so slow on that challenge, and cuts out the South Florida offense.
And so now we're just seeing a little struggle here for that midfield possession as things are, wide open here in Game 3. Platteville are playing some of the best rugby league they've played this series, and they are looking to, again, to at least start to work on a reverse sweep. A minute remaining, they are on offense. Slow is going up for every ball that's in that midfield line as he wants USF Gold to know that there could be a chance. Fluff ball in the air, shot in! Platteville take the lead!
And that is the fluff ball that we know and love for this Platteville team, and he's finally able to be that closer. They beat the defense completely. South Florida out of the net. Fluffball could see that play develop nicely, able to jump right on top of it and put it down into the net. 45 seconds left, and Platteville take the lead.
Such a good effort. Wait, Fluffball will pick up another. A quick pass from Mars, and a 2-goal lead for Platteville.
Poaching that midfield line, and Peculiar was still rotating back. Jay Urban was coming off the kickoff, and just like that, Platteville earns themselves a 2-goal lead.
Okay, at this point, Platteville are starting to get a read on USF, and a series that seemed to be in the palm of USF's hands is going out of control. Mars will pick up the 5th goal for Platteville.
Yeah, tough kickoff there for Reeves, and Peculiar just didn't get the touch as well. Platteville coming alive off these kickoffs, and it might just earn themselves here their first win in the series.
What a worry. Oh my goodness, another one. Another one. Fluffball will pick up the hat trick. It's safe to say that Platteville have run away with this game unless we just see some excellent kickoffs from USF, but they just have not been playing at that level.
No, Reeves went for the left kickoff while being on the right side and somehow got there before Peculiar, who spawned on the left side. I'm not sure how that happened, but I think, oh my goodness, another one. Hey, Platteville's got to return the favor, man. South Florida, they ran up the score in Game 1, and they got to give it back to them here. A couple of bad kickoffs and a tough challenge. Peculiar can't make the save, and Platteville now up all of a sudden 7-2, Dax.
And you got to feel like USF are going to do some kickoff training after this series, seeing how this one spiraled out of control for them. Meanwhile, they'll try to get some goals on the board, but yeah, 7-2. Completely returning the favor from Game 1. A lot of people are going to be looking at this one who didn't watch it, and they're going to say, what happened? I don't even know what happened. I mean, I do, but...
I mean, you blink and you miss it, really, for Platteville, and they got to be happy. I mean, look, they get back into the series by winning their first game, but not only that, but I think they found a lot more of their stride late into this game. Even if you take away all of those goals with the kickoff, I think South Florida was kind of trolling there a couple times. It just feels like for South Florida, for Platteville, they're getting warmed up into this match. And for South Florida, they can't take that lightly. This was a much closer game. Even if you take away this 7-2 scoreline, it was 2-2. The go-ahead goal from Platteville put them up 3-2, and it was a much better look from Platteville. A lot more dangerous, created a lot more chances. South Florida had to kind of back up their lines, and you didn't see so much offense from South Florida late into that game.
At this point now, you got to look forward here for Platteville. A lot of goals here were scored off kickoff, and it helped them kind of cement the lead. There was some decent showings, though, of just really well-done plays. You talk about Mars with a lot of speed to put a shot through. I think that finding that confidence for Platteville is going to help them immensely moving forward, because now they're not going to be afraid to challenge here on that USF half. They're going to make USF work here in Game 4.
Absolutely. And again, you know, you worry about, at least for USF, getting too complacent here in this series, knowing that, I mean, that was an absolutely winnable game that kind of got flipped on its head. And you know that Platteville have been playing better and better. Here comes Mars. Does he have a chance on it? He did get there, but not good enough. Fluff ball, maybe a second touch.
Oh.
It's there. Big save from Reeves, as that one could have just rolled in for Platteville.
Good pickup. I like the double, but obviously the reaction from Reeves deserves some credit as well. A lot of speed there, because you never really know if that second touch is coming through. And he had the reflexes on that one down pat. But you're starting to see really good offense here from Platteville. You said it yourself, that it seems like they're warmed up in this series now. And for USF, they're playing things pretty close to the line.
Platteville looking for some offense, but look at that, just one clear, and there's in slow, couldn't get around to it, and that's a bit scary from Platteville. You know, we talked about it a few times. It's very strange that one touch is able to beat all three of UWP, and South Florida have really found that magic touch to get past them in the midfield especially. South Florida, though, held to only one shot so far, which is definitely improvement over many of the games here in this series so far. But it really only takes one good look for South Florida, and maybe this could be it. Reeves does get a second touch, but doesn't bounce out far enough to Peculiar.
Mars trying to get there. J. Urban, that was some quick speed. Reeves, oh, what a shot. Fluff ball, able to get that one barely. And looking to move it back downfield once again. But this has been pretty tense. I believe this is the longest we've gone this series without a goal being scored, as this Game 4 is halfway done. And we've seen some close saves on both sides. But still, here we go. USF gold with the pressure. Reeves up, looking for the shot, but it'll be an easy save for Mars.
Yeah, and you get a bit scared watching UW play defense here. A lot of lateral clears, not even to their corner, but outside of their corner. And that is going to be it. Reeves gets the first goal for South Florida. And again, this ball comes straight out to Peculiar and unfortunately was challenged by Mars, who set up Reeves. And some open space in the backfield for Platteville, and South Florida take advantage.
Reeves stubborn on offense. USF Bulls keep charging, and you see what happens when you don't give up and what that squad is able to output. Now they got to play a little bit of defense here, but well worth it, as they are able to submit themselves at least a lead, forcing Platteville now to, you know, step their game up to tie this one up.
Oh, absolutely. Still 2 minutes left in this game, and I think Platteville have spent more time here on the offensive side of things, but that's a mistouch by the defense, and Jay Urban's going to take advantage. Disaster for Platteville.
Comes down to just this touch slow. Thought he could catch it and roll it up the sidewall, but just bounced off the octane, slightly off that hood. Jay Urban able to clean things up. So now things are really in trouble here for Platteville. Down by 2 against USF is not where you want to be here.
Yeah, and you really got to start generating those dangerous chances if you're Platteville. Sure, you can spend all this time on the offensive side of things, but where are those dangerous shots coming? We really hadn't seen too much of that here in this game, and South Florida definitely showing a lot more dangerous plays as they enter the final third of the field. Platteville not able to keep up with it as Fluff ball's out of boost, and they'll leave it to Reeves, who wants to take to the air. Unfortunately, couldn't pick it up. And for Platteville, they get out.
Platteville get out, but how long can they maintain this pressure? They need something in the next couple of drives here. Otherwise, time will not be on their side, and USF can just play keep away as we approach the final minute. Oh, Jay Urban, what? Top corner.
And nobody here from Platteville as well. Again, uncontested for South Florida, and that's a great shot from Jay Urban. Now sitting 3-0 for South Florida. Platteville, it's looking very bleak for them. 45 seconds left. They really needed a kickoff here to go in their favor, but Killier is going to try and run out the clock. Maybe Slow could quickly get one here. Reeves has to make the save on the goal line and does so.
And now Reeves looking to slow things down, and this is where that keep away comes through. Oh, he almost actually found Jay Urban. That would have been a nice shot. Peculiar will just dive on it, doesn't mind getting demoed. And at this point, things looking grim for Platteville. They had so much pressure, and they did show some really good signs of light when they were on that offensive end. But just like that beat, just kind of showed just how outmatched they were to USF Gold. They're going to take this series in 4, as Platteville did show, they really did put their best foot forward here. Just wasn't enough to stop USF.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, that first game wasn't pretty for Platteville, but they definitely made some changes here in this matchup, in this series, that I think were for the better. And Platteville, unfortunately, aren't going to come out with the win here. South Florida are. And I got to say, I'm very impressed with the South Florida team. I thought they played a great series. I think they had one game get away from them, obviously. But I think for South Florida, there was a lot of intention behind the ball, which you like to see in CRL, very organized moving downfield. And we're able to capitalize on a lot of the chances that they created, and that's really important. It's one thing to capitalize on your opponent's mistake. It's another to create those chances and then put them away and convert. And I think that's what South Florida did really well here in this series, was creating those chances that they could convert on. And I think that's ultimately why they were the better team here today.
Absolutely. You see these two guys, or these two squads, lined up here, and you kind of knew Platteville was coming in, as the underdog here. But that being said, I wouldn't be too disappointed with their performance. They had some really good moments, and there was obviously like a mistouch or so. But that being said, all in all, USF was kind of expected to take the win here. I think I was just surprised at how far the series had gone on. But I mean, at the end of the day, we did end up finding out that result. But for Platteville, they're going to have to definitely go back to the drawing board, just try to figure things out.
Yeah, absolutely. And for South Florida, they get another win in the win column here. And I think for them, they look towards playoffs with a lot of confidence. They're a strong team, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see some more CRL. We have more matchups, ladies and gentlemen, coming up very, very soon. You won't want to miss it. We're going to take a short break to set them up, but don't go anywhere. This is CRL Fall.